Daniel Jaye, and you're watching JayeSpotTV right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram by following @DanielJ, and don't forget to hit up on thejayespot.com for all updates.
I see you walking by, and I can't seem to decide exactly what I will say. Notice how you stroll, making me
ready for the spotlight. That's the reason I'm still here. The ups, the downs, the last of tears. It's time for me to face my fears. Thought I told you once before, but now I'll say it loud and clear. It's my story, I'm sticking to it. It's my life and it's my year. I believe in me, in me, in me, in me. All that I can be.
Lil Mo, you gave me that theme song. You did your thing. Every time it come on, I'll be like, ready for the spotlight. It's the reason I'm still here. Did that, all right? Okay, make that money, boo-boo. Make that coin. I'm back, I'm fabulous, and I'm here with another R&B Divas of LA review. Not too much to say on this one. I mean, this episode was kind of bleh. I mean, they really pumped it up on the drama that was supposed to go on, but I didn't really see a lot of drama. Like, I didn't see a lot of things that were going on. I kind of saw drama that was stewing that's going to prep me for kind of like next week. But not a lot going on for me, you know. So let's get into it. We see Shantae, Michel'le, Dawn, and Mo are having lunch, and they're trying to catch up Dawn and Michel'le up on what happened in this last rehearsal when Kelly came in with those damn Timbs and that straight edge and some Vaseline. Mo was like, man, she brought that big old Vaseline, not the one that you carry, not the little one that you carry in your purse, but the one that you grab a whole handful and you slap it on and you do all kinds of things. Like she was in it. And Shantae's like, you know, and she was like coming for me, and you know, I told her, I'm not afraid of you. Like, I know what Timberlands and Vaseline means. Like, I'm not, you know, I'll beat you up in these heels, honey, and that's how it's gonna go. I love Shantae. I really do. I love me some Shantae Moore. I think Shantae Moore is a class act. She says what she has to say, but she says it in a way where it's like, I respect you. Michel'le is just really like, oh my God, she did go there. Did she really say, what happened? What happened, girl? What happened? And then Don's kind of sitting there with this, like, look on her face, like, really? Like, oh my God, like, I just can't. Oh, I can't imagine that. I don't know where Claudette is, honey. By this time, Claudette is a ghost. She's a ghost. Did y'all see her? Did you see her pass? Because I haven't seen her. So they basically are all on the same page, saying that they need a director, they need a producer, they need someone to kind of get this ship going. And the ladies are really comfortable with Fred. They're not comfortable with Tori. But then, of course, you have Don, who's not comfortable with moving forward with this idea if Kelly's not comfortable with who they are comfortable with. Like, it seems like Don is kind of playing the fence and playing two ends towards the middle, but at the end of the day, she really is Team Kelly. I just want to know how Don feels. You know, Don hasn't really said anything. She doesn't really say anything, you know, when the ladies are there, and she's always kind of hit and miss, and I'm always like, chick, do you have a voice? Like, what's really going on? So then we have Shantae. She's sitting with her business manager and basically telling her everything that has transpired in this last rehearsal with Kelly. Kelly said this, no girl, yes girl, and they're like, oh my God, for real, she said that. She was like, I don't know, like that. And so they go back and forth, and she's telling the story, and then she goes into this story about, you know, Kenny actually filing the papers. For those of you who have been under a rock, her and Kenny Lattimore are divorced, and he is filing for legal custody, which basically I am guessing and assuming by the things that have been coming onto the show that they have co-parenting rights. Basically, he gets their son for so long, and then she gets their son for so long. And he's filing for legal custody, which basically means the son lives with him full-time, and he gets to dictate when Shantae, if Shantae can see her son. A young man needs his father to teach him how to be a man. He still needs a mom. He still needs that nurturing aspect of parenthood. And I'm sorry, Kenny, if I was a mom, I wouldn't want that motherly figure coming from the chick that you shacked up with right now. Oops! Did we read? Yes, we read. So then Lil Mo goes and she has lunch with Fred, and she's basically telling Fred, you know, like, we like you. We want you to be the one to do the thing. And you have to basically she's telling him, you know, I need you to stand up. Like, I have your back, but I can't have you, like, walking out and getting punked by, you know, Kelly Big Britches when some things go down. Like, I need you to stand your ground and know that we're there to support you. And he was like, well, I mean, we down. You know, you down, I'm down, we all down. We from Philly. You know, we gonna do this thing and do it Philly style. And I'm here to go. I'm here to rumble. I was watching some other interviews and come to find out that this whole him producing, being hired thing, the show hired him, okay? Point blank and period. You know, Shantae did not hire him. Shantae's not cutting him a check. Lil Mo's not cutting him a check. The show, The Wizard of Oz, the powers that be, went out, found Fred, and said, look, we want to hire you to do this monologue thing with these ladies. And he get a check from the same people that cut them, the rest of them a check. Kelly, your attitude, your behavior is so left pocket, chick. Like, how do you get upset that the powers that be that put on this show have hired this man to do a job? Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Anywho, so Lil Mo is really trying to solidify that she's Team Fred. Fred is like, I'm really down with you ladies. I really want to do this. Let's get it popping. But I'm not looking to be second fiddle. We all have come to that conclusion. Fred is not trying to be assistant to nobody. He's trying to come in and do what he has been hired to do with the credentials that he has to do what it is that he needs to do. Cut scene, fast forward, we get into Don's little segment, and I have to... okay, I have to say, Don's singing, ooh, like Don is, she's like, I'm not rehearsed. I can only do so much. And so her little segment comes in and she's like, oh. Then she looks at the camera, and I'm like, for real? This is your time to like show people that you really got a voice, and all you gonna do is, oh. Like, girl, your singing is frail, just like you. Her and her boyfriend are looking at adoption options. In the last episode she went to a fertility clinic, they basically told her she had rotten eggs and that she could not conceive at 47. That basically this is where the road stops for you and you might want to look at some other options. And Don, being stubborn Don, she's like, no, I'm 47, damn it, I can still have a child. And I'm going to find out all the possibilities. So at first, her and her boyfriend go to this adoption agency and, you know, talk about what their options are. And the lady basically says, you know, they're looking about doing like a private adoption. So basically, if you're trying to go this route, you meet the woman and like, okay, I'm going to be the mother to your child. But when the baby's born, she has 30 days to be like, oops, I changed my mind. Guess what? You're not getting my baby. And her boyfriend... I don't know how he said it. It was funny to me. It might have not been funny to other people, but when he was like, oh wow, well that's convenient. It's just, like you're shopping at Macy's, you could just take it right back. I hollered, I screamed, because that's really what they make it sound like. And side note, sidebar, this Lifetime movie Baby Sellers, that's all I thought about when he said that. I was like, it's really like a coat that you get at Burlington Coat Factory. So moving on, we got Lil Mo and her husband Philip. Why does Philip always look like he is digging through trash? Like, nigga, do your hair. I'm gonna need you to take a brush, a pick, something. I need you to like get that together. Like, I really need you to do something with that. I know that you're a fabulous husband. You're a wonderful father. You're a great businessman, but I need for that head to get it together. Lil Mo, tell your husband to get it together. But anyway, Lil Mo and Philip are talking, and she's basically asking him, what does he want to do? This whole transition thing with her being bi-coastal. She has 2 daughters on the East Coast with their biological father and their family, and she's trying to make this transition to LA to make her career, pop, and to really get back on the ball, and she feels like has a better chance of doing that out here. And Philip's like, well, we just got a lot to consider. And Lil Mo's like, ain't nothing to consider. Like, this is our options. East Coast, West Coast, what you want to do? Because I'm ready to move, and you is kind of getting on my nerve with the slowdown. And Philip's like, well, we have a company back home, and, the transitions, and, and she's like, that's a no. Like, don't boo me. Like, don't give me some, all around, ring around rosy. Like, if it's a no, it's a no, but let me know, be straight up. And I kind of feel like this. I feel like, on one side, Lil Mo moving to LA and really to push her career, I understand it from a business aspect, but because she has such a large family and so many moving parts within her family unit, I understand Philip's hesitation, and I kind of understand where he's coming from, but I will say that you kind of, in this business, have to take a risk. And, you know, if you guys have been in Maryland for, you know, as long as you guys have, and you still feel like you need to do more, that's a chance you might want to consider taking, Philip. All right? So, I don't know. I kind of see both sides to that, but again, it is what it is. But I will say, Philip, baby, do something with that hair. Next, we have Michel'le. No, I hollered when she tried to do the bebop scat shwat. I said, ooh, shoot shwata. What the hell was that? Michel'le, come on now. I know you can sing, but that was not the business. She did, I mean, come on, y'all, really? Shut up. So Michel'le and Shantae Moore have a sit down and kind of, they want to talk to each other about what's going on, updates and things like that. And they brought up Kelly's 40th birthday party and whether or not Shantae was going. And Shantae was like, I don't know if I'm going. However, you know, am I still invited? And Michel'le was like, well, I was kind of hoping that I was going to talk about this party. It was kind of like, what party? So they, in their minds, in their heads, was like, you know what? If I'm not invited, I'm going anyway. And if I was invited and she don't want me there, I'm still going and I'm going to look fabulous. So now we have Lil Mo and Shantae. They go kart racing because they need to chill and relax and chillax and get some girl talk in. And again, everybody keeps talking about how this whole producer issue is like a really big issue. Like all of this division. There's a show that has to go up. Nobody's communicating. Nobody's agreeing on anything. And so it's like, somebody make a decision because at the end of the day, my name is attached to it. And so they kind of talk about that. And then it kind of segues into Shantae Moore telling Lil Mo about this whole situation with Kenny Lattimore and him filing for custody. And she basically says, you know what? You know, I don't know what Kenny, this is Shantae. Shantae says, I don't know what Kenny's reasoning is, but jeez, God knows everything. And Lil Mo, we get to the party and Shantae Moore says she hasn't seen Kelly Price since the incident with Fred. And Kelly Price is like, you know, I'm looking around the room, I see her, I don't know if she should be here. And my thing is like, get over it. Like y'all are in this industry, you know how the industry works. You know that if you're on a reality TV show, there are certain events that you guys are contracted to go to together as a collective. However long you stay is however long you stay, but you have to go. And so she had hers at the GS Lounge. Shout out to Tyree. And it was cool, it was quaint. Mo was a little nervous. She was like, I don't know what's going to happen because there's a lot of tension. And there wasn't a lot of filming at the GS Lounge. Like we saw, you know, Kelly talking to some people, Shantae talking to some people, obviously trying to avoid each other. But there wasn't really anything that went on at the party like they pumped it up in the preview. So I was kind of upset about that because I wanted to be like, okay, are y'all going to speak? Are y'all going to have something going on? What's happening? Let me know. I want to see some drama. That's why I'm watching the show. So after all of the hooshu mooshu, Shantae Moore, Lil Mo, and Kelly have a meeting. And Kelly walks in. She's like, hi, ladies. Yes. Oh, I'm fabulous. Hi, ladies. How are you doing today? I'll get a glass of water. Okay, great. She sits down and they start talking about basically what's going on with this show. And Shantae wants to know about the whole Timberland thing, the straight edge and the Vaseline. And she's like, look, was that for me? Like, did you intend that for me? I felt like you were giving a subliminal message. And Kelly was like, what are you talking about? You know, I had a bag of props. Like, that's my life. That's where I come from. Like, I have a bag of props. Like, did I point it at you? And Shantae's like, I felt like you were coming for me, like, on the slide. And Kelly's like, what are you saying right now to me? Well, if I have anything to say to you, I mean, I would say it to you, but like, no, it was just props. And so in Shantae Moore's interview, she's like, I just don't feel like she was being honest. I mean, okay. If that's how you want to play it, like, okay, that's fine. She goes on to tell the girls that her schedule is just too busy, honey. She's booked, okay? She has things to do, and she just doesn't have time for these monologues, and she's not going to be able to do it. Yeah, no, not going to be able to do it. Lil Mo's like, what? Wait, what? Hold, pause, okay, for your cause. What do you mean you're not going to be able to do it? Like, you knew that your schedule was booked when you brought us this idea. Like, you knew your schedule was what it was when you brought the idea. And she, in her interview, she's all like, you know what? When I look up to you and you let me down, like, when I look up to you, I don't like to be let down. And right now, I feel like you letting me down. And so I know that Lil Mo really looks up to Kelly Price. She respects Kelly Price's hustle. But at the same time, Kelly Price, you doing some really hood crap. Like, really? Let's be real, okay? Let's be all the way real, okay? LA realness. You don't want to do it because you can't call the shots. Because you brought this uncopywritten idea. That's the key, ladies and gentlemen. That's the word, copyright. Boo, if you're going to bring an idea on a nationally syndicated show, you might want to have it copywritten. So that if somebody starts to make moves, you can be like, hey, guess what? I own the rights. Yeah, that's not going to go down. But apparently, that didn't happen. So, you brought this idea forth and the show kind of took it over and made some decisions and you were upset. So you feel like, okay, well, since I cannot be in control, because I cannot call the shots, I'm going to pull out. You guys do whatever it is the hell that you guys want to do. I'm not going to be a part of it. And basically, I feel like she was like, let's see if you could do this without me. That was kind of the shade that I felt like, that I read. She really was like, I don't really think that you guys can do it without me because it's my idea, but guess what? I'm leaving. I'm not going to do it. I'm booked. I have things to do. So, smooches. Okay. And talk to you later. Peace out. Just like that. Next, we have Lil Mo, Don, and Philip sitting in the studio, and they talking and hashing it out because Philip is supposed to be doing, the musical direction for this show. And Lil Mo has a conversation with Don and basically tells her what just transpired with her, Shantae, and Kelly. And Don, of course, has a mini breakdown. She's, has anxiety. What? Oh my God, I want to make sure that Kelly's okay. Like, why is she leaving? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on? And Philip's like, okay, pause. I don't know what you guys have going on, but from a musical standpoint, we ain't got a lot of time, okay? So if y'all want, like, music, like new music in this show, at first it was going to be hard with 6 ladies trying to, give each one of y'all the time that you need. Now that we have 5, it's not any better. I mean, it's not any worse, but it's not necessarily any better because it's still 5 chicks that we got to work with musically. And Don is like, well, yes, I just think that we need to just make some decisions and, I just want to make sure Kelly's okay because this is her idea. This is really her idea. And I just want to make sure that she's okay. And I'm like, girl, grow a physical backbone, all right? Kelly is just fine. Damn, I'm so mad I can't cuss on this video. Kelly is fine. Kelly is manipulative. That's what Kelly is, okay? She pulled out because, like I said, she could not call the shots. So now Don, her ace boom coon, she gonna be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do because the woman that I always go to, she's pulling out, so does that mean that I have to leave now? And so we get all the way to the rehearsal with, did I really get hood? I really just did that, didn't I? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Anyway. So we get to the rehearsal with, we got Michel'le, Lil Mo, and Fred, and they working on some stuff. Don comes in, and, they're trying to get their work together. And all of a sudden, Don's like, well, I just don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'm not going to do it either. And Lil Mo's like, what? Like, son, what? How? I don't understand. Like, why everybody quitting? Like, everybody's quitting, and I don't understand. I love Lil Mo. I love her. Don's like, I just feel like at this point I've missed so many rehearsals and I'm playing catch up. And you guys have been here, you've been rehearsing with him. And Lil Mo's like, what rehearsal? Last 2 rehearsals was nothing because y'all couldn't decide on nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not feeling you right now. And she goes plumb off. I mean, she all the way went there with Don. And Don walks out. She's like, where is your Jesus? Where is your God? Okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to argue with you. I don't yell at me. Don't raise your voice at me. And poor little Michel'le, she's sitting in the seat. She's like, she's like, And, you know, where is your God? And Lil Mo's like, my God is right here. And guess what? My God don't quit. God is not a quitter. And so Don tries to have some little back and forth. And Lil Mo's like, look, if you gonna quit, then leave. If you ain't gonna be here, if you don't want to be here, then leave. Don't be talking at the door, just leave. You a quitter, just leave. And the life that I got at that moment, y'all just don't understand. The life that I got at that moment. Because I feel like this. I don't believe that Kelly did not tell Don that she was not going to do it. I don't believe that. I think that Don was holding on to information because she wanted to see what the girls were going to say and what the girls were going to do. But I basically think that Kelly got into Don's ear and was like, I'm not going to do it, and convinced Don's little self that she shouldn't do it either. And I guess Don feels like she has this loyalty to Kelly because Kelly brought the idea. But what I don't understand is you brought an idea to a group of people and said, let us work together to make this happen. So yes, it was your concept, but the creation of it and the growth of it is not yours alone. Like, it's not. And for Don to just bounce just because Kelly's not going to be there. Like, her reason to me was bullcrap about, you know, I feel like I have to play catch up. Girl, you are playing catch up because y'all ain't had no real rehearsal with all of you there. So the whole damn production is catch up. Oh, I couldn't. I was all with Mo. I may not have agreed with how Mo brought it because she went straight hood. But I agree with what she said. Like, don't quit because somebody else is quitting. You quitting because you're afraid of Kelly, or your nose is so far up Kelly's behind that you feel disloyalty. But guess what? She's not being loyal to the rest of us. So what's really going on? And just for the record, for those of you that already know, Kelly and Don went. You know, all of this happened like months ago, so everything's been recorded. Don and Kelly have already done a Not Your Mama Logs show that apparently was directed and produced by Tori Russell. And there's a link, which I will put in the info section down below, of a clip of this show. And when I tell you, this looks like some straight up bull crap. It looks like they took a quilt and strung it up on some freaking nails in somebody's house and took 2 chairs and sat down I mean, just the outfits, they just looked like they was just at home chilling in front of this big old silver quilt. And then of course they start talking and encouraging people, and they start singing, and I don't know what it was. Like, it was really like a mess. And I'm like, if this is what you were fighting for, girl, have several seats. Both of y'all take your lives on vacation and have several seats, because I can't with this show. Link is gonna be down below. Y'all can watch it, clip it, tell me leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think about this clip, because I could not. I was like, really? This is what you fought for? Baby, take a nap. So apparently in next week's episode, Claudette is back. Baby, don't ever be gone for 2 episodes like that again, because your storyline is not real tight, and when you're gone like that, we almost forget who you are. So anyway, she's back, and she's like, you know, there's this thing going on. She wants to invite Kelly and Dawn. She's like, I want to invite Kelly and Dawn. She's talking to Shantae and Lil Mo. They getting all dolled up for whatever it is they about to do. And Shantae's like, yeah, no. No. And Lil Mo's like, man, you know what? I would rather you invite Cindy and Terry than them 2 broads. The real in vogue. Baby, you know I hollered. You know I hollered. Like, I was like, what? You really said that? Like, you really went there? And then Kelly, we have a clip of her talking about, I just felt like everybody was on this F Kelly. And Lil Mo's like, well, ain't nobody after you. So I really can't wait till next week's episode. Because, again, I'm ready for life to be given to me on a very weekly basis with this show. What are my thoughts on the episode? I feel like this. I really feel this episode as a whole was kind of like, it was whatever. Like, it was kind of blah. It seemed like it was kind of like an interlude show to lead you to next week. And I stick to my guns. I feel like Kelly Price has been manipulative. I think that she's knows how to use her words to make people believe her, or to make people think that she is not this way. But at the end of the day, boo, your actions speak louder than your words. And I think, me personally, you're talented. I don't take that from you. You got coin, baby. I don't take that from you. But you are a manipulative, angry, control freak that needs to have several seats, like point blank and period. I don't, discredit what you've done, and I'm not saying that you old news, but come on now, this is not how you talk about. This is high school stuff. This is not how we act at 40. But boo, you're acting like that at 40. Talking about not having in her interview, she said something about not giving the whole story. What whole story? Girl, you didn't get a whole story. When you brought this idea, you didn't say that you had somebody that you wanted to work with. So let's really be real about this whole thing. Don, I'm going to let you know this right now. I'm going to let y'all know. Don tried to come for me on Twitter, okay? And all I asked her was on Twitter, I tweeted Don Robinson and I was like, hey, do you feel like the show is basically depicting, are you okay with the depiction of you on the show? And she tweeted back and she was like, well, it's TV and the editors portray you how they edit you. Why do you ask? And I said, well, because on the show you seem very fragile and I would hate to think that this is how you really are considering how you are in other interviews. And she tweeted me back and was like, I don't care what you think of me. This is who I am, like it or not. And there's a big difference between radio and television. And if I had pearls, I would have clutched to them because I was like, no, she didn't low-key try to come. Like, I didn't come at you with shade. Like, and Don, if you see this, let me, from my mouth to your ears, boo. That was not me trying to be evil or trying to be like, come at you in that way. I really wanted to know sincerely how you felt about your portrayal, but in how you responded to me, you answered my question. Yes, you are a fragile chick. You are somebody that when the heat is on and it's just you can't take it. But if you have somebody to back you, like you real hard and you real tough. And I listen to your interviews, boo. I do my research. Okay, I go in and I do research on every single one of you ladies so that to make sure that my facts are straight, that I'm not saying something that's just out of pocket. And on these radio interviews, you go hard. And like I tweeted you back, Miss Don Robinson from En Vogue, radio or TV, your personality is who you are, point blank and period. I don't care if I have a radio show right now and I'm doing these JayeSpotTV vlogs and you might get a little bit more of me in these vlogs, but my opinions, how I interact with people, how I treat people, and how I am as a person, that doesn't change. That does not change. So for you to give me this hardcore girl in radio interviews and then this fragile little leaf snowflake in this TV show, like, baby, you fraudulent. Like, have several seats. So in regards to Don, I really feel like Don is following Kelly for whatever reason. I don't know if that's a loyalty thing. I wish her all the best, with trying to get pregnant and having a baby, but just on some real type stuff, like, you fraudulent. Like, just be real about it. And I think that's the thing that Lil Mo really didn't appreciate, was that you don't have your own stance. Like, it's hard. You talk about how professional you are and how you want to do all these things, but yet in everything that I've seen, what have you done that really stands, that you stood on your own and done? What opinion do you have? What stance do you take? Are you just going to be loyal to somebody even though they're wrong? I can't with you. Anywho, Michel'le, I want more from Michel'le. I really want to hear what Michel'le really has to say, and I don't know why they don't speak to her more. Maybe because America really, has a problem with her voice. I love her voice. Michel'le, smooches, boo. I love your voice. You give me life. Minnie Mouse on helium, and I love it. But I really want to hear what she has to say because she doesn't say much, but I know she got an opinion. Lil Mo, you already know, boo. You already know. I got your back. You give it to me real, you give it to me raw, you give it to me straight up, and I love it. Shantae, you a class act chick. I love that about you. And I love the fact that you just about your business. You like, okay, cool. If y'all don't want to work this out, bam, I can do it on my own, or me and my other homegirls can work out something. So I love that. Anyway, I'm out of here, you guys. Make sure you visit onthejayespot.com for all updates on more JayeSpotTV vlogs. You can check out the new blogs that I've posted, and you can get all of the links for the On the J-Spot radio talk show that happens every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at Danyol J. Don't forget to like me on Facebook. And yeah, deuces, my mooses.
Danyol, Danyol J, that's my name. Danyol, Danyol J, that's my name.